Have you ever been locked out of a website, forced to prove you're not a robot, only to feel frustrated and confused? You're not alone. This week, 63 million UK readers face the same ordeal. But here's the shocking truth: those tiny puzzles aren't just annoying, they're the front line in a high-stakes battle over money, data, and the future of journalism. And this is the part most people miss: it's not just about stopping bots. It's about protecting the value of news in an era where AI is hungry for content. Imagine this: you're trying to read an article, but your screen freezes. A box pops up, demanding you click on traffic lights or select images of crosswalks. You comply, but the question lingers: why does this keep happening? Publishers argue they're safeguarding their content from large-scale scraping, which threatens the revenue that funds investigative journalism. Readers, on the other hand, just want seamless access to the news. Both sides have valid points, but the tension is real. Why do websites flag you as a bot? Modern news sites don't rely on a single test to distinguish humans from bots. Instead, they analyze a combination of subtle signals, from your browsing behavior to your device settings. Here's what might raise red flags. Rapid-fire page requests from a single device, which could mimic scraping bots. Unusual mouse movements or scrolling patterns that seem too perfect or erratic. Blocked or missing cookies, which disrupt the continuity of your session. Privacy tools like VPNs or IP rotators, often used by bots to evade detection. Headless browsers or outdated user agents that resemble automated scripts. Intermediary services fetching pages on your behalf, which can look like unauthorized access. These systems make split-second judgments. Accumulate enough anomalies, and you're treated as a bot until proven otherwise. But here's the catch: it's not always your fault. Your digital behavior might just happen to resemble that of a scraper. The challenge for publishers is to minimize false positives without giving malicious actors an easy pass. Publishers draw a line in the sand. Large media groups are clear: automated access to their content drains value and undermines reader-funded journalism. Their terms now explicitly prohibit robots from scraping, collecting, or mining text and data, especially for AI training. If their systems suspect automation, you might see a message explaining their policy, often directing legitimate readers to customer support and commercial users to licensing channels. For instance, readers can email protected, if they believe they were blocked unfairly, while companies seeking bulk access licenses are told to contact email protected. The goal? Keep genuine readers moving while funneling industrial users into formal licensing channels that support journalism. The AI data rush collides with paywalls. Training large language models, LLMs, requires vast amounts of text, and news content, rich, current, and meticulously edited, is a prime target. Publishers argue that scraping their work without consent or payment turns a public good into an uncompensated data feed. Regulators are taking notice, courts are weighing in, and negotiators are brokering deals to ensure fair value for both sides. Readers feel the ripple effects: more checks, more delays, and occasional false positives. But for newsrooms, the alternative is grim: unrestricted access for bots, shrinking revenue, and fewer journalists on the ground. Is this the price of protecting journalism, or a step too far? What to do if you're locked out? If you're stuck behind a bot check, here's how to regain access. Complete the challenge and wait a few seconds. Refresh the page and allow cookies for the site. Disable aggressive content blockers or privacy extensions on that domain. Temporarily turn off VPNs or proxies to reduce flagging. Update your browser and avoid headless or automation modes. Switch to mobile data instead of public Wi-Fi, which often shares IPs. If these steps fail, contact the publisher's support team with details like the time, error message, and your public IP. For example, readers facing repeated checks can email protected, while organizations seeking commercial permissions should write to email protected. What bot checks really look for? Websites don't rely on a single signal but aggregate multiple weak indicators. Here's a breakdown. Signal, what it may indicate, what you can change. Rotating IP addresses, traffic from proxy pools used by scrapers, temporarily disable VPN or use a stable connection. Blocked cookies, no session continuity, common in bots, allow first-party cookies for the site. Very fast navigation in machine-like request cadence, pause between pages, avoid mass tab opening. Headless browser strings, automation environment detected, use a normal, up-to-date browser mode. Shared public Wi-Fi, many users behind one IP, harder to trust, switch to mobile data or a home connection. The stakes for readers and news businesses. For readers, bot checks often strike at the worst moment, when a headline is urgent, time is scarce, and a verification box blocks the view. For editors, the stakes are higher. They're battling industrial-scale harvesting that can replicate entire sites overnight, siphon archive text for AI training, and bypass subscriptions or ads that fund reporting. Stricter access rules aim to protect exclusives, interviews, and investigations that cost money to produce. They also target resellers who repackage journalism into questionable feeds. The trade-off? Friction. To minimize this, sites refine their models, tweak allow lists, and adjust thresholds to let genuine readers through while challenging outliers. Privacy and fairness. Bot detection can feel invasive, especially when it scrutinizes device signals. Reputable publishers focus on technical markers and avoid collecting unnecessary personal data. You can improve your chances of passing checks without sacrificing privacy by allowing basic cookies, avoiding shared IPs, and keeping your software updated. Commercial use requires a license. Companies seeking to use news content at scale, for analytics, training, or aggregation, should obtain a license. This typically includes terms on scope, rate limits, attribution, and storage. It protects publishers' rights while giving buyers lawful, predictable access. If you're running research crawls or internal tools, avoid public sites without permission. Use test feeds, sandbox datasets, or licensed APIs instead. Publishers are clear, unauthorized automated collection will be blocked, and repeated attempts may trigger stronger countermeasures. Practical tips to try today. Run a browser health check, update, clear corrupt cache, and verify time settings. Set site exceptions in your content blocker to allow scripts that prove your humanity. Audit your own defenses if you manage a small newsroom or blog, testing for false positives with diverse devices. Teach digital literacy with a classroom exercise, simulate signals that trigger challenges, then resolve them step by step. Weigh the pros and cons of VPNs. While they enhance privacy, rotating IPs can trigger anti-bot systems. The goal isn't to punish readers but to halt industrial scraping that devalues journalism. Bot checks aren't going away, they're evolving to be smarter, quieter, and more context-aware. For readers, small adjustments like stable connections and reasonable privacy settings can drastically reduce friction. For companies, the path is clear: seek permission, license access, and respect the rules. That way, the news keeps flowing, and those infuriating boxes stay out of your way. But here's the controversial question: as AI's appetite for data grows, should readers bear the burden of bot checks, or is there a better way to balance access and protection? Share your thoughts in the comments, let's spark a conversation.